So here we are again. I wanted to go through the Microsoft Cloud PKI solution. So, I mean, setting up NDES, as you can see, isn't exactly that hard, and it doesn't require a lot of infrastructure, just one server, but there is that requirement for that one server and yet an additional service to install. Microsoft, a year or two ago, released their Cloud PKI. The licenses come around about £1.80 per user per month, I think it is. Is that plus or including that? I can't remember. I think it's a 90-day trial for 250 accounts. So I wanted to use that. There are obviously third-party solutions like SCEP. I have used that in the past, and that is a good product, but you need to have a minimum of, say, 50 users. It requires some Azure infrastructure as well, so you have to set up an Azure Logic app. So there's that cost to bear in mind, and also then it's per user after that. So Cloud PKI is a great product, but it won't replace your on-premises certificate authority. So I think, I may be wrong, but at the moment, my playing around, my discovery has shown that I still need the on-premises on-premises certificate authority running for providing the certificates to my servers, for example, the Always On VPN server, the NPS, and those. But you also then need to extend it into the cloud. So this is where you can use bring your own certificate authority, BYOCA. I always just want to say BYOB for even when I'm talking about bring your own device. I'm just always thinking about bring your own bottle. Anyway, that aside, you extend your on-premises certificate services into the cloud by using the bring your own CA. And effectively what you do is you create a subordinate certificate authority, I guess, in the cloud, and then that can issue these certificates to your client devices. And because it's verified by your internal CA, you're all good. There are a few things that I learned as I went along this journey, so I'll point them out. But again, rather than me waffle, let's get straight into it. So here we are in the Intune portal. Let me just head over to my admin portal. And if I go to my licenses, you can see there I've got 249 available out of 250 licenses for Cloud PKI. If I head back over to Intune and go to tenant administration, you'll see you have the Cloud PKI option if you have the licenses. So in there, I can say I've got 84 days left for my trial. I've got no certificate authorities. Here, I've got my on-premises infrastructure. So that's all good. But at the moment, we're just going to spend most of the time in fact, I say spend most of our time in this, it's probably 50-50. So the first thing we'll want to do is to create a issuing certificate authority. So if we hit create, and let's give it a meaningful name, Andy Kemp Dev Cloud CA. Pretty obvious. You want to give it something meaningful that your clients will know. This is just the actual name of it that shows up in the portal. You need to specify the name later on. Here we need to specify the CA type. We don't need a root because the root is our on-premises certificate services. So we want an issuing CA. And then the root CA, when we select that, you could create a root CA in Intune if you wanted to, but we're going to do bring your own root CA. In terms of validity period, it will pick it up from your own CA's policy there. Extended key usages. So you can select more than one if you want to, but because I'm only going to be using this for client authentication for Always On VPN, I'm just going to select client authentication. Subject name, so this is where it will show up in the certificate as the name. So I'm just going to call it Andy Kemp Dev Cloud CA. Again, if you're following along in the blog post, this is what I've set it all to be. All this other information is optional. You can fill it in if you want to, but I'm just going to leave it blank. And the encryption, I'm just going to leave it as 2048 and hit next. Don't need any scope tags. And I'm now ready to click create. So this only takes a moment to do, and what you'll notice is I've got signing is required. So if I go into my CA and I download the CSR, so you can see there it downloads it. What I'll do is I'll just copy it across, copy, and let me paste it into here. So let's look at Notepad. It's your typical certificate request like you would have had before. And then once we have that, we need to run a bit of command prompt. So that's from the previous post. So let me just clear that. I've put it into that C share folder. So it's in the folder that's accessible, and you want to paste this in from the blog. So you want to do a cert request, submit, and the attribute, what we're looking for is a certificate template of a subCA. Again, we've got the config switch there to specify which trusted route we're going to do it from. And then we have the request file that we're referring to. And then we're having the certificate it's going to reply with. So that .cer file that we get. So if I run that, all being well and good. Yep, so that's all done. When I see that like request ID, I always think error. So once we have that, we then also need to export the full chain of the certificate authority. So there's another command that we copy and paste across from the blog post. So this is, we're saying we want to do cert util, it's a CA chain, and the config again, we reference our CA, and we're going to put it into this folder here. Now, I think that file name should work. I had some issues before. If it doesn't work, we can just change that to fullchain.p7b, but let's just export it as it is just now. So you'll see there, that's run, and I have my certificate file, and then I also have my full chain. So if we head back over to the portal, what we want to do now is upload signing certificate. So here we upload the cert file, but again, I don't have that just now because I need to copy it across. So let me just copy these files across onto my Mac. So all being well and good, it should have copied and we should see it now. So if I hit browse, there you go. So there's my Cloud CA cert. And if I do browse for more files, I could drag and drop. There's the P7B file. So we have that. And if I hit save, we should hopefully see something happen shortly. So certificate authority validated. So if I hit refresh here, it's active. So you can see now that the root common name is my on-premises CA. So we've got that bit done. That's all good. What do we need to do now? We need to publish the new certificate that we've just got to our internal CA again. This is basically so our devices are aware of it. So there's a couple of areas we need to do that. So one is we just need to publish it as a subordinate certificate authority. So if I run this command, again, we're using that certificate request, certificate file that we got from the request. So we use cert util again. I don't need to specify the config in this one. And we're calling out that CR file and we're saying it's a subordinate CA. So if I run that, it's added it to the store. So you can see it's done a bit of commands there. The next one, we would need to add it to the NT auth certificate authority store. So we just paste this one. So again, following along on the blog post, you'll see the commands in there. And that's now put in. So if we go to, I think it's PKI view .msc, and if I go to manage AD containers, in the NT auth certificates, you'll see my cloud certificate there now. So that's half the battle done. We also need to install the root certificate on the NPS box. So do I still have that open? I think I do. Yes, I do. So again, if I go into certificates, manage computer certificates. Yes. Go into trusted root certificates, certificate authorities. You won't see that there. So if I go to all tasks and import, I know I put this on a bit further down the line in the blog post, but I'm just doing it now so I remember. So if we do browse, akdev/ec/share. So there you go, you see that there. So if I hit next, so I'm importing that certificate file as a trusted root certificate. Finish. The import was successful. You can now see the CA there. So that's just so when certificates are issued by Intune, when they're coming back to NPS to authenticate, it can say, yeah, that's a valid certificate. So we then also need to create the trusted root certificates for Intune. So much like we did before, we still need to keep the other trusted root certificate. If we go back to devices and configuration. So we've got the Andy Kemp Dev Trusted CA. We still need that, but if we do another one, so new policy, select platform Windows 10 later, and we're using a template, and we want to select trusted certificate. Next, let's give it Andy Kemp Dev Cloud CA Trusted Certificate. Next, browse to that certificate file again. So that one there, and it goes to the computer store. Next, add groups. I'm just going to push this to default default device group again, because that's all my devices when I autopilot them there in the default group. So next, no applicability rules, and I just want to review and create. So what that will do, much like the previous one, it will push the trusted certificate to the clients as well. So we have that one and we have that one, so that you still need both. I did try removing that one, but it failed to push that down. So I'm just looking through the blog post again. I think we're at that point. Now I'm saying import it into the NPS box, but we've already done that. So that's good. We now need to create the SCEP certificate. So that is very much like the one we've created before. So let's just open this one up and we can use that for reference. But the only thing we need to be mindful of is, again, let's open tenant administration in a new tab. Let's go to Cloud PKI. What you'll see here is if we go to properties, you've got your SCEP URI. So whereas we had the scep.dll URL we called up, we need to call up this URI. That's the address that the clients will use to pull the certificates down from. So let's leave that where it is just now. So if we go to create new policy, and again, Windows 10 or later, I mean, it doesn't make any difference if you select Windows 8.1 or later because it does the same thing, but they should really remove that. Templates, and we go to SCEP certificate. Create. Again, give it a name. So Andy Kemp Dev -Cloud. Just call it Cloud SCEP. Next, configuration. So much like we had before, I'm just checking these over. That's all typical. So much like we had before, we want the username, email address. So use principal name, and we just do that. User simple name, and then URI. I'm just going to be lazy and copy it from this one. Also, because I can't bother to type. Plus, you see my typing on this; it's awful. So, on-premises security identifier. So, years, we just have it as 1. Again, like the other one, enroll to TPM, KSP if present, otherwise software KSP. Digital signature and key encipherment. And again, 2048, and we're going to go for SHA-2 again. This time, though, the root certificate we want to select is the cloud root, because that's where it's coming from. And again, client authentication and the SCEP server URLs. This is where we would put in that URL from the information here. Believe it's this one. Yes. So if we copy that, I'm just traffic gateway. Yes, that's the one. So paste that in there. Next. Again, add groups. So I'm going to go to defaults and also put it to the VPN users. Select. Next. Again, applicability, anything. If you have stuff there, put it in, but if not, leave it. Next, or create. And so we've got the information we want, so everything's looking good. And we just hit create. So we've now got our Cloud Trusted certificate to push out to the clients and our Cloud Simple certificate enrollment protocol certificate set up there. So the next thing is just to wait. And again, you know how much I love waiting. Get the client up and it should get the certificate. Actually, why don't we, in the meantime, go to the assignments of the one we created in the previous post. Let's remove the assignments there. So these users will no longer receive the certificate from the NDES infrastructure. So that is no longer deploying certificates. I'm going to stop it there. I'm going to wait for my devices to update, and then I'll show you once they are up. So I've logged on to my Parallels VM, and you can see there I've got a certificate there from my Cloud CA. And if I go to my trusted routes, I've got my on-prem CA and my Cloud CA there as well. And you can see both were issued by my on-prem CA. So that's all good. You can see there that I'm connected. So if I just disconnect, do connect automatically. Connecting, and I'm connected. And that's using my Cloud certificate. One thing to call out is when I was going through the connection, it did fail. But what I did was I restarted my NPS box. Everything was done right on there. So we had the certificate, so that's why you need to install the certificate on there, but it wasn't recognizing the chain. So a simple reboot seems to fix that. You'll see that here. So if I scroll down, so you see you got success there. But if I scroll down a wee bit, quite a wee bit because there you go. Audit failure. There you go. That's what we wanted. So if I just go to the top one, we look here. So I think it's error code 285 or something, 295. And the certificate chain processed correctly, but one of the CA certificates is not trusted by the policy provider. So that's simply, I need to reboot the machine. We could have restarted a service on there, but yeah, reboot seemed to fix it. And after the reboot, I was getting the audit success. So if I scroll up to the top again, I think it's this one. Yep, there you go. So audit success. And I'll just get it's connected, and that's using the connection profile. So if you do get some errors, check the security log on your NPS box, because that will sometimes give you some kind of indicative reason as to why. The connections on your client are usually, an error 812 or 798 or 6 something or 1300 and something. They're good, but you go to the Microsoft KBs and they don't give you much information, to be honest. Error 812, it's just a certificate issue. That's great, but what's wrong with the certificate? Anyway, that's your infrastructure now up and running using cloud certificates. So if we head back here, yep, certificate still assigned, and everything is good. So you can see that I've now deployed it to 2 PCs. So I've got my Parallels VM and my Surface Pro 6. Anyway, I hope that's been useful, and hopefully it has kind of gone in line with my blog post. But if you want to see anything else or have any other questions, please just feel free to drop me a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Cheers now. Bye-bye.